Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we are going to speak about your vibe and your energy. Also, remember to like and comment wherever you watch this and share the video, please. Welcome back, my Crusty Crystals. So, your vibe and your energy is so important. I mean, it is everything. We'll get into that, but let's first start with our shiny crystal of the week. So, this week's shiny crystal, I don't know why I thought of her, but yeah, Dolly Parton. She is the person that came up as a shiny crystal. And the reason why I chose Dolly is because I just love her energy. You know, her vibe is just always chill. And then I said to myself, well, what sign is she? And I looked and she's a Capricorn. But what was really interesting was that her moon and her rising were both Virgo. So she is a triple earth queen. Earth people, chill. She gives off that Mother Earth vibe. And that's what I love about her. Her energy is just always chill. And she makes choices that I really like. She's always chose not to talk about politics. She's never, she doesn't get into one side or the other. She keeps her views to herself, and she, does good for others regardless of what side she might be on, which is great because politics, again, is such a low vibrating energy. It's and everybody has gotten so into it so much, and every podcast is talking about politics, and it's we're all being puppeteered, people. Get back to life. Get back to your life, okay? Put your light out. That's how you can help. Getting riled up about politics, one side or the other, and getting angry, and that's what they want. So stop. Just get back to your life. Shine your light. That's how we can make the world great. But again, there'll always be darkness, so remember that. But that's what I love about Dolly. She doesn't do politics. She just is I'm here to create. I'm here to give. She gives so many charities. She's just a very charitable person. And I love that she owns her shit. She's I'm going to use my sex appeal. And she owned it. And I love that. When someone makes a choice and just owns it, even when she was the butt of a joke because she would have her big boobies out, she still owned it. She was that's right, honey, and she just worked it. She owned it. She never was she never had that victim energy. She just was this is me. This is what I choose. This is what I do. Love me or leave me. And I love that about her. So Dolly, you are my shiny crystal of the week. Love me a Dolly Parton. Am I saying it right? Parton. Yeah. Because remember last week I was it's not Barrymore, it's Barrymore. So Parton. Because I'm a Long Islander. Like I said, we make up words. But yeah, let's see, Dolly. Love me, Dolly Parton. But yeah, she came to my mind for some, that I was that's such a random, I didn't see anything in the news about her. It just, Dolly popped up. So that happens a lot. So let's see if anything pops up about Dolly. So the celebrity big three, our celebrity big three. Today we are doing Moon and Leo. We're up to Moon and Leo. And I chose Julia Roberts. I mean, that woman, she is such a Moon and Leo. The hair says it all. You'll notice with Leos, they usually have this very mane hair. Obviously, you could be a bald Leo. That happens because of genetics. But they have a mane, the Leos. And her moon is in Leo. Her sun sign is Scorpio. And her rising is Cancer. That's interesting because last week we had a double water as well. And yeah, she is a sun in Scorpio, rising Cancer, moon in Leo. So Scorpio with moon in Leo. That is very interesting. Those are two very powerful signs, Scorpio and Leo. And what I think for her is, so for me, I think Julia Roberts shines in her Leo-ness. So when your moon is shining, okay, so here's the thing. Your sun sign is how people see you on the outside, what you show the outside world. Your moon is your depth, your emotions, your soul, basically. And then your rising is your purpose. It's also how people perceive you too, but it's your purpose in this life, your rising. When I can tell someone's moon sign or their moon sign is what is standing out to me, for me, that means they're showing themselves, their true self, their depth. So I love when I pick up on someone's moon sign or when they're displaying more of their moon. I love that because that means they're showing their true soul, their self. So her moon is Leo, and I feel I see her as a Leo. I don't even see her as a Scorpio because she is I think Julia Roberts is being her true self. I think she's being her authentic self, which makes sense as a Leo moon because Leos only can be themselves. They're so into themselves that they will not be anything else. I admire the moon in Leos. I admire Leo's energy in general because they're sure of themselves and they're confident and they just walk with that stride. And I love that. You know, I think that's beautiful. My Mars is in Leo, so that's good. Your Mars is like your work. And so usually when any job I have or any job I do, like I do take a leadership role and I have great energy with work or career. And her rising being Cancer, that's sweet actually. But I don't see any of her Cancer. So what's interesting is that your rising, it's your purpose. I feel that her purpose is to be, it's interesting because her purpose as a Cancer, I feel like my intuition's saying it is actually to be more private. And she's a big star, so you can't really be that private. But now that I think of it, she kind of is. Like she does her work, she does her movies. You don't really see a lot of like Julia Roberts, like gossip mag stuff. You know, you don't really see Julia Roberts like when she's doing a movie or she's like promoting a movie, maybe you see more of her. But if you think about it, you don't really see a lot of like Julia Roberts' private business stuff out there. And I think now that I see her rising being Cancer, I feel like she does have more of a private, she is more private than most celebrities. So that's actually pretty interesting. So she's actually living her purpose where she's meant to be, you know, have a more of a private life. Other moon in Leos, which we love a moon in Leo. My ex-boyfriend was a moon in Leo, now that I think of it. He was a Taurus Leo. He did have that little lion face as well, too. Anyway, Halle Berry, she's a moon in Leo. Paris Hilton is a Leo moon. Liam, how do you say that? Hemsworth. Oh, and there's that lion hair again, right? That mane. You could even see in moon in Leo's eyes. They have like that, like those like little lion eyes, you know, very like ferocious. Wesley Snipes, he is such a moon in Leo. Oh my God. How do you say this? Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know about sports, but I know he's like hot and sexy. So that would give me that moon in Leo. He's very into his style, very vivacious. And then you have Paul McCartney. So Paul McCartney, very random moon in Leo. For me, I feel like it's the success. He's like a legend, Paul McCartney. And Leo's like Madonna is a Leo. Like Leos step into their legendariness. You know, that's how that Leo energy does, you know, it's got that like that strength, that power, that legendary. So that would make sense for Paul McCartney being a moon in Leo. But yeah, that's a good placement, moon in Leo. I've rarely met a moon in Leo that obviously you struggle in your own way, but they have the great potential, Leo moons. If you have a moon in Leo, you have great potential to do great things in the thing you choose to do. Okay. So let's get to our main topic today, the vibe and your energy. It's everything. It is so important to try to be feeling good, trying to be positive. And again, as humans, we're not always going to feel positive. It's just part of it's just part of the journey. But I think that if you can try to get yourself to that place, see, that's how I've always been. Like, it's bad to say like, oh, I don't do anything I don't like, but I try not to. Like I said, with work, I like to always have a career or a job that I love, that I'm passionate about in some way, shape, or form. Even when I was younger, like when I was like in high school, I always worked. I worked since I was like 13. I remember I was a telemarketer when I was like 18. I loved it because I'd be swinging around on my little swivel chair with my little headset on, just making cold calls. And I was like loving it. Like I love talking to people. So, you know, don't do something that you hate. Try to be in a positive place. Your energy and your vibe is everything. It is like if your energy is right or if you're, you know, feeling good. And again, there's going to be situations in life where you can't feel good. You know, you got diarrhea one day. You're not going to feel good. You're like, I can't leave. I got to get to the bathroom, you know, so you're not going to be feeling great, you know, or if you got cramps or something, or you got you know, something's not feeling right. It's okay. It's going to happen. But again, even then, you want to like, you know, if you're having diarrhea that day, make sure everything else is feeling nice. You know, make sure that like you are in a place where your vibe is feeling good. Try to make things okay for yourself. Get yourself a little, I was going to say get yourself a little treat, but if you have diarrhea, you might not want a treat. But, you know, do something that'll make you feel better. Fix your vibe. don't let other people ruin your vibe either. Like, that's important. Like, I always say, look, it's okay to acknowledge that you're a sensitive being. It's okay to acknowledge that you have certain needs. You know, there are people out there that are just trying to, I'm going to tough it out. I'm going to tough it through. And you definitely, you know, there is something to that, right? But it's okay to acknowledge I'm sensitive. You know, I've even said to myself that, you know, I'm so sensitive that, like, I feel I have to really be honest about things that I can't deal with. Or like, if I'm watching a movie with somebody, I can't have you texting or on your phone next to me. You know, like, I feel it. I see it out of the corner of my eye. I can't, I'll pause it. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I'll pause the movie until you're ready. You know, are you done? Are you done, you know, liking Grandma Kaka's picture of her shrimp scampi? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you done? I could wait. We don't have to watch this right now. I could pause it. It's okay to say that, you know? No, you can't. You're not going to be able to do it. I could do both. No, you can't. You're not doing both. I could focus on both. No, well, I can't focus, you know, because I feel it. I feel it out of the corner of my eye. You're not paying attention, right? And it's ruining my vibe. It's okay to say that this is bothering me because it's your energy. It's your vibe. I could watch the movie by myself. I could watch the show by myself. I don't need to have you next to me on your phone looking around, you know, crushing candy, you know? No, I can't. It's like, wait till we're done, you know? Like, it's okay to say I can't have that happen. Lighting, that's another thing for me. Like, lighting is a big deal. Don't have me in the dark, you know? I feel depressed, you know? I'm not watching a movie. I'm not watching a show in the dark, you know, unless you're trying to get handsy, you know? If you're trying to get handsy, but even then, if you're trying to get handsy with me, I want a little light. I want to see what's going on in there. You know, I want to see what's happening. I'm not here to guess. You know, if we're doing something like that, if we're getting intimate, I want to see what's happening. I'm not like, this isn't a Halloween party, you know. I'm not looking to guess what I'm feeling. Nope, not into it. Is it worms? Is it syphilis? I don't know. Turn the lights up. I'm not into it. And have like a nice light, like a soft light, like a lamp in the corner. Don't the white lights. If you have the overhead lights when we're hanging out, you hate me, actually. If you have the overhead lights, you don't like me. It's very important, you know. Lighting is everything. I love like a nice and like a yellow bulb, like a soft yellow bulb, not like those white bulbs. Like, are we in a lab? You know, like, are we doing blood work right now? I can't. I'm just not into it. When I'm doing readings for somebody, like, I tell them, like, I'm feeling your energy. That's part of what I'm doing. It's not like just a mediumship. Like, I have mediumship. I do psychic stuff. I have empath abilities. I'm seeing your truth. Like, there's a lot happening when I'm doing a reading. So be connected. Like, I can feel if you're not connected, or if you're holding back, or if your vibe is off. Like, that's enough. You know. So I tell them, the more connected you are to me, the better it's going to be. So, you know, energy is everything. It's so palatable. Everyone feels that energy. It's like, you know, even being a good neighbor. Like, don't be like playing loud music. If you're like in an apartment building and you're like on top of each other, enough with the loud music. It's 11 p.m. Not everybody's into Ozzy Osbourne. Not everybody wants to hear the reggaeton at 11 o'clock at night. Lower the music. You're in an apartment building. Or if you're in a house that's close to each other. You know, I don't want to hear you practicing your golf swing. Like, it's like, these are conscious things. Like, people, sometimes they don't realize like what they're doing. You know, they're just like in their own world. Blasting music? Are you kidding me? That's like craziness to me. Like, I'm so aware of other people, like being, you know, like sometimes I talk loud so I'll often be told like, and then I lower my volume because I don't want to disturb anyone. But like things that I'm consciously aware of, like playing loud music, or, you know, if it's like late night, if I'm living in the same house, if I have like a roommate or a family member, or we're living like, and people are sleeping, oh my God, that's like the biggest thing. I'm so quiet with things. Like, there's people slamming doors, something like, I'm very, 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 like, I feel and hear everything. So like, I have to sleep with a white noise machine, a fan, an air purifier, an eye mask. I am very like, I hear a pin drop. So I got a whole thing go. I'm in like a vortex when I'm sleeping. There is like, And I read something the other day that they said people who are highly empathetic often need to sleep with a white noise machine or a fan. And I got it all going on. So you could imagine the empathy that I'm feeling. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's really cool, because my whole life I've always needed some kind of fan or white noise machine, because they say that we're very attuned to the things that are going on around us. So I am 100% always feeling things like that. I have this new like crystal. It's like a salt rock. It's not a crystal. It's like a salt rock, and you light it up, and it glows. This like pink yellow light that comes off this salt rock. Just there's something. It's so soothing. Even Truth, my dog, he lays there and he just like his little eyes. Oh my. Well, when me and my dog sleep, we sleep. It's so funny because when you sleep with the dog, like they get up a lot and shake off. So it's not like full sleep. Like you're kind of adjusting a lot, like but I have never fallen asleep better in my life than having him there. Like, so we sleep and he like looks at me and I look at him and I hold his little paw, and that's how we fall asleep, with me holding his little paw, and I could feel his little breath. Oh, it's the best. It's so incredible. Like while we're just chilling in the bed, he's laying at the end. But then like when it's time to like really go to bed, he like knows somehow. He literally knows every move, all the moves I make. He knows what they mean. And he'll come over and like face me and put his paw there. And I just hold his little paw and we go and drift off. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got melatonin and a CBD gum and going as well too, but that helps as well. Oh yeah, I got the white noise, the fan, the CBD gummy, the melatonin. Because listen, you're a psychic medium. You got a lot going on there. And I'm a Heyoka empath. My Native American friend confirmed it. He told me we did like this test thing, not like an official test, but like he talked to me asked me what I feel and the symptoms of it. We'll get into that one day about the Heyoka empath. It's literally every single thing we talked about. He was like, oh my God, you are literally... It's a Heyoka empath is like, they call it like the sacred clown. So you're often like a funny type of version of a human. You can like see people's truth. You mirror people's truth. Just my existence in someone's life will bring up things, good or bad. But what it is it's a mirror to the person. So that's why I can't be around anyone who's like shady or suspect. Like I can't be around them for too long. Or what's funny is I've had very close friends that were that, and I would stick with them. I learned that I had to weed that out, because I would stick with them and wonder why I was triggered the whole time, or why they were getting triggered, because I was mirroring them. I didn't realize I was doing that. So even in readings, like just by talking, when we're talking in the session, I'll be mirroring them, and things will come up that they can't see themselves, but by discussion with me, all of a sudden they see it, or it comes up. It brings it out in them. So when they're ready to do the work through the Heyoka empath energy, they can see things that they weren't able to see before. So that's pretty cool too. That's actually some of my favorite things, is unveiling someone's truth. Being able to show them that side of them. I love it. Like when I'm talking to them, like I'll get these dings and I'll feel these things and I'll ask questions or say things, and it all starts coming out. And all of a sudden I'll point it out to them. I'll be like, see that? See how you said that? And it's like, whoa, it just is it opens up a whole side of them they didn't realize was happening or why they were doing it. Back to the neighbor thing. I lived in an apartment once that I had an upstairs neighbor. I was only able to stay in this apartment for 2 months. Like that's how affected I got. He was vacuuming his floor at 7:30 in the morning. Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you not, in your mind, how do you not say to yourself, oh, this vacuum, this Stanley Steela is like waking this guy up downstairs, 7:30 in the morning. Not everybody's getting up, but not everybody's a nurse, you know? I don't have to be on call. So I don't got to be up at 7:30 in the morning. I got you steam cleaning the carpet at 7:30 in the morning. I would wake up. That's when I bought the white noise machine, because I always had a fan. But then I was like, I need something else. It's an Indy 500 upstairs. He would stomp around like it was the Kentucky Derby. I was like, I had to get a new hat because I'm like, what's going on up there? There's a Clydesdale living upstairs. It was a nightmare. 2 months. I said, I got to get out of here. And I was going to leave a note, and I was like, no, I'm not going to leave a note. I'm not going to be the crazy neighbor that just moved in with the whole thing of, I'm a psychic medium and I feel everything. I'm a Heyoka empath. He'll be like, who's this fucking nut downstairs telling me he's feeling everything? But meanwhile, he's the asshole 7:30 in the morning mowing the carpet, I had to get out of there. 2 months. I had to fucking I had to move. I had a couch that I had to move. It didn't fit through the door, so we had to bring it over the balcony. I had to pay people to get the couch. The people I had to pay to get the couch in was more expensive than the actual couch. And then 2 months later, I had to get the couch back out. I had to pay the same people to come back to get the couch out. I gave them the couch. I was like, you could have it. I just got to get out of here because I haven't slept in 2 months, basically. It was just wild to me. I was like, this is absolutely insane that you wouldn't think to yourself, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be making all this noise. There's somebody living downstairs below me. But, people don't know. People don't know. They don't think. Not everybody's aware. And that's the thing, too. At first I had like rage about it. Like I was like, I'm sitting there, I'm trying to watch Hocus Pocus 2, and I can't get into it fully because he's out on the balcony singing to this girl with a guitar. He's got his guitar going and he's singing to the girl. And I'm like, and I like to sit with the door open. It was my balcony door open. I love catching a breeze, remember, I like to catch a breeze. So now I got to close the door and I'm all cooped up because he's out there serenading the girl who wound up not liking him anymore anyway, because she was gone. She knew this guy was a nut. But, they don't really realize. So don't be embarrassed is what I'm saying about the things that you need to keep your vibe right. This is your life, and obviously don't be a diva about everything. And I need this, but there's certain things that, that you need, if like I run warm, so I need to be in a cool environment. I can't, if I go to someone's house and it's hot, I'll say to them, hey, can we crack a window? Can we put the air on? It's like, it's too much. I'm not going to sit there hot the whole time, sweating my balls off. That's another thing too. I need powder. I'm a powderer, especially in this humidity. I need powder. I can't be out there just like raw dogging, sweating. I'm not into sweating. Sweaty socks, not into it. I can't it could be like maybe a spectrum thing. People on the spectrum, their senses are like on overload, so they feel everything. That's like, I used to have my skin, not used to. I've been using the same skin cream on my hands since I'm 12 years old. Vaseline Intensive Care, the yellow bottle. And if you feel my hands, they are soft they are like little marshmallows. Since I'm 12 years old. But that's because I used to have I never had I wasn't like cracking. They weren't like dry hands cracking. They just felt dry. So when I was a kid, I used to this might sound gross, but I used to lick my hands and sit on them. And then I discovered skin cream and I was like, oh, this is amazing. But I used to feel dry. I used to feel them. So I wash my hands often, right? Like not when I was a kid. That's not why they were dry. I don't know why they felt like they were dry. But when I wash my hands, I have to have that cream. There's certain, I think maybe I'm being a highly sensitive person, because as I'm saying it now, I'm like, oh my God, I sound like I'm a nightmare to be around. But I'm not. Anyone who knows me knows, that's the thing too. I always say, surround yourself by people that love and care about you enough that they're willing to adjust. When I'm walking, I can't be on the right side of somebody. So when I'm walking, if I'm walking with someone, they have to be on my right-hand side. If they're on my left-hand side, it feels off balance. So if there's any psychologists or psychiatrists or anyone who might know what that is, because that thing for me, I think is like a brain thing, like a cerebral. I think there's something that for some reason I can't be on the right-hand side of people. Like even when I prefer to drive because I get nauseous, I guess, when someone else is driving, but also I feel off when I'm in shotgun. Like when we were kids, like, when you're teenagers, and like, I don't know if they still do this, but when we were teenagers, we would go to the car and we would yell shotgun to sit in the front. I didn't give a shit about that. If I wasn't, I was usually the one driving, but if I wasn't driving, I prefer to sit behind the driver in the back on the left-hand side. I can't, if I'm walking with my friend, I always have to, I'll ask them, I'll move over here, or I'll just adjust myself. But if anyone else experiences that, please message me. I would love to hear, because I've never heard of anyone else who had that. Like, it's not even like it's a preference, but it's because I feel off. I feel like it feels off balance to me when somebody's standing on my left-hand side. But if I'm in a group of 3, like I could be in the middle of that, or I can be on the left. Again, I can't be on the right. So they could either be on each side, or they have to be on my right. Even with my dog, I hold him on my right. Sometimes he'll, because he'll go around, and then I adjust it to my right. But very interesting. I think it's a cerebral thing. I think there's something with my brain that feels off balance if someone's on my left-hand side. So if anyone knows what that is, please message me, because I would love to know if there's a technical thing. But my point is if you have these weird things, if you have these things that you deal with, or that you prefer, or that you go through, it's okay to say it. Don't hold it in. It's the people pleasing thing. Don't like, again, I'm not rampaging through people's houses like I would never do that. I'm pleasant to be around, and I have, manners and couth. But like, if I know I'm comfortable with the person or the people, I'm going to say like, oh, can we do it this way? Or can you do that? And if you care about me, you would want me to feel good. And I would do it for you, vice versa. Like if someone told me that they felt more comfortable or better this way, you bet your ass I'm going to do it quickly. I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it up. Let me tell you, if you're with me in my environment, you're going to be comfortable as shit. My dog, that boy is comfortable, because I'm a Taurus with Pisces moon. We are all about the comfort. I treat my people the same way. Even in my readings, if you've ever had a reading, I'm all about your comfort. I don't push too hard or go to places. I'll ask questions. I'll say, can we talk about this before, if I feel something? There's many times I feel heavy stuff. There was one time in a reading where the person's family member was coming through to me, and I felt that person was, without getting too detailed of the reading, there was an aggressive situation that happened to that person. And the person that I was reading, they were holding that energy in certain organs in their body, and I felt that energy there. And I wanted to make sure it was okay to bring up that situation first before, I didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. So it's not me just saying I need to be comfortable. I want the people around me to be comfortable as well. So so communicate your needs, because we're all such, I think a lot of people are very sensitive, and there are people who aren't very sensitive, and God bless you if you're not that sensitive. Not everybody is an empath, or a Heyoka empath, or a psychic medium, or autistic, or Asperger's, or, just sensitive, like not everybody is that. There are people who are walking around that aren't sensitive. I don't understand that yet. Maybe they're not connected to their senses, or, maybe they're just people with, I don't want to say duller senses, but I think it's a blessing if you're not sensitive. But there's something that, I kind of feel like everyone's sensitive, and there are some people who just aren't acknowledging it. That's what I think it is. Because when I think of some of my friends who say that they're not sensitive, they had a lot of like really deep traumas growing up. Maybe they weren't allowed to acknowledge their sensitivity, or they had to learn to just say, get over it, deal with it. And that's part of the trauma, I was always very in my own world growing up. I did my own thing. I was in my own space. So because I had to be. I had to be in order to feel okay. All right, so let's go to our manifesting moment. So the point is, be honest with the things you feel and the things you need. And I think that if people love and care about you, they will want you to feel comfortable and be happy, so they'll adjust. And if they don't, then you probably shouldn't be around those people. Weed out the people that don't give a shit about you. So today's manifesting moment, this is going to be the last time we do manifesting moment, because we're going to replace it with calls or voice memos from people with astrology. So we'll get into that for episode 7. But today, this is our last manifesting moment. And this week, we will manifest positivity and people that match your energy. So for the last time, take a moment. Sit with yourself. Again, if you're driving or walking, keep your eyes open. But just think to yourself, this week I want to manifest positivity and people that match my energy. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So we want to put out a good vibe. We want to create situations that bring us good moods, make us happy, make us feel good, because life is rough. And there are so many times that we can't be positive, and there are so many times that we can't have happiness. So when we can, let's utilize it. Let's strive to be happy. Let's strive to feel positive. Don't be around people that stress you out. Don't be around the ones that don't care if you feel good. They're not necessary to be around. So this week, we will find the people that match our energy. May you all manifest people that care enough about you to want you to feel good. All right, that's the last week we do Manifesting Moment. And if you love Manifesting Moment, tell me, and maybe we'll find a place for it. But for me, I feel like I don't think it's grooving with the energy, personally. That's just what I'm feeling. So I want to adjust that and maybe add a little something fun, like the voice notes thing that we talked about. So that's what I'll say. Well, you know what? On the Crusty Crystals podcast Instagram, I'm going to post a story that says if you have what we're doing. So if you want to be a part of this, follow the Crusty Crystals podcast on Instagram, because that's where I'm going to post, where you could send your voice notes. All right. So today's final thought. Although life on Earth is about so many things like evolving and learning, it's also about being your authentic self. Be honest with yourself fully. Don't hide from your truth, good or bad. Because when you're honest with yourself, even if it's ugly, you at least have a place to change. You have the truth, and you can choose to change it or not. But it's your journey regardless. People will come and go. At night, when you close your eyes or take your last breath, it's yourself you are with. So work towards making it your best self. Because we are our best selves, we can put that into the world. And the world needs more light. So take your head out of your phone and smile more. Say hi to strangers. And try to make all the ones you encounter feel seen for their truth as you want to be seen for yours. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for joining this whole journey. Remember to follow the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube page, Taurus55. And we'll see you on Instagram, possibly. Crusty Crystals Podcast. And also, again, a shout out to Floored Media, my boy Jay. We love the studio. Thanks again. Crusty Crystals. Love you guys. See you next week.